Let me tell you right now, you've missed out on a conversation already that just happened off air. DJ Spinna!
Greetings.
Welcome home, man.
Yes, good to be back home.
Home, right? How does it feel?
It always feels amazing. Always, every single time.
And when was the last time?
I want to say that was 2018.
Yeah, just before COVID.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah. And you don't look a day past 2018. What's wrong with you, bro?
Hey, man, trying to take care of myself, you know?
Yeah?
It's a lot of people that I know that are, not keeping too well and transitioning and all that stuff. So just trying to, within this frame of work that I do, a lot of traveling,
yes,
lack of sleep.
Yeah.
You got to kind of balance it out. Good food, try to do a little exercise here and there. And sleep as much as you can.
Very, very important. Sleep, I mean, you cannot deny that. We start with brand new heavies. Dear Davenport on vocals. Stay this way. Why?
Well, first of all, that first brand new heavies album really changed my life. That was a monumental period, especially at a time where hip hop was really starting to blow up and R&B music. I would say this is right before Puffy influenced hip hop R&B.
Yeah.
So a lot of adult contemporary R&B was just that. It was just kind of meant for a certain age bracket.
That's right.
But this record came up, the acid jazz scene. It infused jazz, soul, funk, hip hop, and Brand New Heavy spoke directly to that. And the songwriting was amazing. And Davenport's voice just captivated my soul. And funny enough, years later, I ended up working with her.
Gee.
She was on my BBE album.
Yeah.
No, actually, she was on my Galactic Soul album, my Intergalactic Soul album from 2008. And we did a song called Where Is Your Love? So it was great to see that, to have that full circle moment. And I actually ended up doing a Brand New Heavies remix a few years later after that for a track called Sex God.
Oh, yeah.
Which featured Fonte on vocals. And another one they did a cover of I Don't Know Why I Love You.
Yes.
And I remixed that as well.
Love that
song. So it was just crazy, how the world
How did you
works.
keep a straight face in that recording studio, man, with Ndia right there in front of you?
I think there was a precursor to that because we hung out first.
Oh, cool.
This is when she was still living in New York, and we had connected during nightlife, and really cool people, So by the time, it was still wild to have her in my studio space. It was like outward looking in, like, wow, and Davenport is sitting in front of me and I'm about to record her. This is insane. But still, good people, very humble. And
is this DJ Spinna with dread still?
Yes. Actually, yes. This was right.
You still had her, bro.
Right before I cut it. Yeah, right before. And now I'm practically.
Yeah. Why did you cut the hair?
I'm battling with hairline recession.
You know what they say?
It happens to us.
You know what they say?
What they say?
Grass never grow on a busy street, bro.
Hey, look, every so often you just have to make that change and not hold on, So
what amazes me, and which also affirms me in a way, because of my journey with DJing in particular, is that I started with house music, right? Mm-hmm. And being the dance floor, the club scene. And later on I was like, my soul kept on yearning for me to be more on the soul side. And when I say soul, I mean slow jams,
right?
Even a bit of alternative, acid jazz, you name it, neo soul. But and then you meet a person such as you, who is basically, you are a spectrum. You move in between those and you are unapologetic about it. We're in the world where the world wants to put you in a box.
Correct.
How do you survive that? How do you communicate that? How do you even trumpet that to others?
All I can really do is show by example. And by example, I mean in the sets that I play, the events that I curate. It's funny you mentioned slow jams. I actually just started a slow jam night in New York on vinyl.
What? On vinyl?
On vinyl, strictly vinyl. Slow jams across the board. from classic 70s soul, 80s R&B, neo soul, even what they call yacht rock or blue-eyed soul.
Yeah. Blue-eyed soul, yeah.
Bobby Caldwell.
We call it vanilla soul.
Oh, vanilla soul, yeah. Yeah, you know, because I think to answer your question more directly, at the end of the day, soul is the root.
Yes, it is.
It's the root. You can find soul in practically every genre.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what speaks to me the most. So all I can really do is reflect in my art.
Yeah.
Reflect that soul element in everything that I do. No matter what genre I play or whatever I'm making or creating, there has to soul is in there. So since it speaks to me so much, and that's what I was raised on as well. So it's the root. It's the core of my whole existence.
You just tuned in. This is DJ Spinna. He's in the country. He's playing at an already sold out event, and you know who's behind it. Picat the Italian. Damn it, this
big
boy.
up Picat in the house.
He must serve you Picat juice.
What is that?
He's got a special concoction called Picat juice.
He didn't tell me about this.
You got to share it, Picat? That's how I tease him. Anyway, Picat juice is him having grape tizer, red grape tizer and red wine. I was like, that's no spritzer. That has to be Picat juice. And since then, he has never outlived that joke, so I'm sorry. Every time I see him, I throw it. Anyway, so when your office gets a call, and please take me back to the early days. I think it's easier now because people can access you via digital spaces, right?
Right.
So take me when you started getting gigs abroad, outside New York, because New York understands who Spinna is and what he can do. Outside New York, you get a call and they say, we want Spinna to come play. Are you therefore going to ask them what sound you want?
Good question. I think in the early stages of me traveling and doing gigs, I pretty much developed a reputation for being diverse. This is right before I started doing full-on house gigs.
Okay.
So just mainly being called a party rocker and just playing music to rock the crowd across the board. The board.
Yeah.
You know, I came in through the music industry via underground hip hop. So that was like the beginning of my name being established and the kinds of records that I was making. But after a while, towards the late 90s, and I started going mainly to like the UK. Okay. The UK, I would say, is one of the places where I got a full awareness and education on how much bigger the musical scope is across the globe, on the planet.
Yeah.
Because they're over there, soul, the same thing. It's they're into their northern soul, they're what they call two-step.
That's right.
Their rare groove is huge. I got a big education on the rare groove movement. Records that are from the US.
Yes.
That the US didn't pay attention to.
Yes.
Album cuts, B-sides, all this funky fusion jazz stuff. Major awareness. So that just opened me up more. I'm just like, man, I can't be put in a box.
Yeah.
There's just too much music out here to explore.
And South Africa, in what you just spoke, in that vein, how pleased or surprised were you with the ear, the taste, the broadness of music in particular?
Here.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to my brother, my big bro, Greg Maloka.
Yes.
Because when I met him over 20 years ago in Miami at the Winter Music Conference. Yeah. With Masters at Work.
Okay.
And when we connected, that was my first lens into the musical landscape of South Africa.
That's right.
And he's another very soulful guy.
That's right.
Obviously, and I met, Fresh and Oskido and the whole crew during that period as well. And they were definitely more on the house vibe, but Greg really let me understand how important soul music is here, because he's a soul guy as well. And when I first came here, I definitely got a major glimpse of that.
Yeah.
But even more so, like last night I went to Pretoria to check out Vinny.
Ooh,
And
Did you go to the Fire and Ice?
Yeah, my other big bro. My little big bro.
That's right.
and
Top two.
My brother. So, and I had just landed, but I wanted to feel the energy and, get some people energy and just see what's ticking. And once again, just hearing what he was playing and my man China was playing. And just seeing the response in the room and the reaction. This is a very soulful place.
Special place, right?
Very special, yeah.
You chose songs, and unfortunately for you, because we're such huge fans, we had to intersperse your choice with our choice.
Okay. That's all good.
It's all good, right? Yeah. Surely, one of your biggest songs here. How did it come about and what happened there?
Surely. Yeah, that was on the BBE album.
That's
Here
right.
to There.
Barely breaking even.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you break even?
Well, that's up to the label. I don't know if they broke even. I don't want to badmouth BBE.
Yeah.
So how did I met? Actually, that was a collaboration with me and Mark de Clive Lowe. So Mark de Clive Lowe we produced that together.
Yeah.
And I got with Oversoul 7 via Mark. So we came up with the track first and then presented the track to Oversoul Sabella, and he put his vocals down, and the rest is history. But the hidden gem in that song is actually Ronnie Jordan on guitar.
Never.
Yes. Ronnie Jordan.
The late
great Ronnie Jordan is playing guitar on that track, as well as Music and Me, Shauna Scoffrey.
Is it?
Ronnie Jordan is playing guitar on that as well.
He passed away after landing from South Africa.
Oh my goodness. Did he pass away here?
No, as he landed back in London.
So this was his last trip.
A last trip to SA.
Wow, did not know that.
That's right.
That was a heartbreaking situation for me, because we actually had a really good connection, and I ended up prior to that BBE record, we did records together.
Is it?
Yes. I produced a track called Brighter Day.
Yes, with Mos Def.
Exactly. And there's another track on the album called Mackin'. So we spent like maybe 4 or 5 days like in a studio, I think somewhere in Boston, that was like in the woods, in the sticks somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a legend. I'm forgetting the name of the studio, but it's one of those places where musicians would just go and rent out the entire place and just stay.
Yeah.
And just record. And really good guy, man. Like really special guy. I actually did another 2 songs on another album called On the Record.
Yeah.
And we did a track called Off the Record on the same album on Blue Note. So we had a connection, man. We had a really strong connection, and I believe that if he was still around, we would have gone on to do more.
I think our love for him has always been, there's jazz. Some will call it avant-garde, right? It's deep and it's a trio, and if you've got an ear for it, you'll get into it, the John Paytons and so on, right? And then you've got smooth jazz, right? And this is, you can throw any names in there, Kekwalam, you name them, right? And then here comes Ronnie Jordan on some, wait a minute, hip-hop heads.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so he was part of that movement.
Exactly.
The same Brand New Heavies era, the acid jazz movement.
Yes.
He came out of that as well.
You know who I call those people? Brave souls.
I get it. Because it's kind of taking a risk in a way,
right. That's
But
right.
to me, I look at that era the same as how I looked at how I see the period where artists like Herbie Hancock and Donald Byrd and Miles Davis took a risk, and they also didn't really necessarily want to be put in that jazz box.
Yes.
And they are brave souls as well,
Exactly.
They took huge risks.
It's a huge
and a lot
risk,
of criticism from quote unquote jazz critics.
That's right.
For not staying traditional.
That's right.
But look what they did. They reinvented an entire wheel.
And made it accessible.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to speak to the next generation.
Exactly. And isn't it amazing? Sorry, we're going on a tangent here. Stay with us. Isn't it amazing that Miles trusted his mastery with a young man called the bassist himself, Marcus Miller.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Mtume.
Yes, James.
Yes. Michael Henderson. There's a list. I mean, he continued to do that throughout his, the rest of his career throughout the 70s and 80s.
Exactly.
Because, look, Easy Mo B. Come on.
What?
Easy Mo B, yes. Doo-Wop song.
Doo-Wop song, yes.
Which
right.
I believe, I want to say I think it won a Grammy.
Yeah,
I think,
big song.
But he totally embraced the next. We talking about, for those who don't know who Easy Mo B is, he produced Flavor in Your Ear for Craig Mack.
That's right.
He worked with Big, Notorious B.I.G.
That's right.
Tupac, the list goes on. He major records. But, Miles Davis trusted in this guy. And that's my brother, too. Shout out to Easy Mo B.
All right, DJ Spinna.
In the house.
Right here. Now, you are a Stevie fan. In fact, I don't think fan even...
Yeah, it's beyond fandom at this point. It's beyond that.
It is, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So you still do the annual Stevie Festival?
Yeah. So it's for sure annually in New York, because that's the birthplace. But I travel with it. The next one that I'm doing will be next weekend in L.A., where he lives.
So you living?
Huh? Oh yeah, I gotta leave. I'm sorry. I gotta, can't stay here forever. But I'll be back.
Okay, good.
No, but yeah, Stevie Wonder, man. He calls me family at this point. And we definitely have established a great relationship. I've had some really special, intimate moments.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
With the man?
It's beyond parties. It's beyond tributes. I think he's entrusted in me for honoring him for all of these years on a different
platform, different
level. Yeah. But I've done shows with him. He invited me to be in his band for a couple of shows as a DJ. I also opened up for him a few times for a few concerts. Been to his home.
That's a pinch me moment.
Yeah, I've had a few of those, honestly. And of course, doing remixes for him personally, where he actually sends me the songs and the parts to remix. Yeah.
And that's trust.
Absolutely, because that just doesn't happen.
How did you get into Stevie?
I mean, since childhood. He's him and Michael Jackson are like my childhood heroes. Was it because mom, dad played it? Yeah, but I'm one of those kids who hijacked his parents' records. So their records became my records. My dad's records specifically, and my uncle, who had an even bigger collection. Yeah, they were my records. I took them. Yeah, I used to steal my uncle's records all the time. So Songs in the Key of Life in particular was the project. It was like a project because the liner notes, the extra 7-inch record that it came with, it was like a big ordeal. Yeah. And I studied that. But my first actual, the first time I remember really seeing him on television was on Sesame Street. And I remember my mom telling me that he's without sight, couldn't see. Yeah. So that alone was like, how could he not see? I didn't understand the concept at an early age. And, he had sunglasses on, but you could still kind of see his eyes. Yes. So I was like, fascinated with that a little bit. That's right. Yeah. Just trying to get a concept of.
And yet he's a multi-instrumentalist.
Oh, he's ridiculous. I've been in the studio with him as well, and I've seen him program drums, like drum beats on his MIDI keyboard, like actually playing the drum pad. So first of all, he there was a song he was working on. He's playing the beats on the keyboard, like tapping out the drums on the keyboard, and he was like, "What do you think?" I was like, "It's cool, I like it." He said, "No, let's scrap it." And he went and played the kit. He actually got on the drum set and replaced everything with live drums. I'll never forget this. It's like, I can't believe I'm seeing this right now.
And you can't be like today with a video, with your phone and video, all of this. It's your story.
Yeah, like I felt weird. This was social media was happening at the time. I could have easily whipped out my phone.
Yeah.
I had to just be in the moment.
That's right.
I didn't want to be disrespectful in that way. It's a private situation.
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
And he doesn't. If we don't see him doing it, there's no reason why I would do it. If he's not revealing his methods and stuff, I can't be the one to.
And that for me, I think that's why the trust keeps growing, because you also respect it.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we have access, but you don't know what to do with it once we are inside.
And some people take advantage of it as well. Yeah.
Tell me about I Can't Help It.
Woo! For me, the shining moment on Off the Wall. Obviously written by Stevie.
Yes.
Co-written. Masterpiece. It's just a masterpiece. It's just one of those songs that I never get tired of it. Never get tired of it.
Before we play it, you spoke about your uncle. I should have asked you this before. Is he proud to see you stealing his records, what it has led to?
Who?
Your uncle.
Well, he's no longer here,
yeah.
but we used to fight all the time. I actually used to take like 45s, like 7-inch records and tuck it under my shirt. And walking out the door, he would pat me down and find the record and then give me a little punch.
Yeah.
Taking my records again. But funny enough, towards the end of his life, he knew he was, transitioning.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're going to have my collection. Whoa. So he ended up giving it to me anyway. But as a kid, you don't want to see your nephew taking your records.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
How big was the collection?
I would say about, at the time, during those years, probably a couple thousand. It wasn't...
What?
A couple thousand.
And you still have all of them?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
How big is your collection?
Yeah, I stopped counting, but it has to be, it's somewhere in the range, it's probably about 100.
K?
Yeah, easily. Between the 45s and the big records.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And funny, you know each and every one.
That I can't attest to, no.
Oh.
Because I'm the guy that, I'm a hoarder. Like, I just keep buying.
Yeah.
And it takes me a while to go back to them. Sometimes I'll buy because I really need it. I just need to have it in the collection, but I won't listen to it for a while. I have sealed records in my collection from like 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
Send me your address.
So I'm constantly rediscovering
Send
stuff.
me your address, bro.
One day when you come to New York, you just got to come by the studio.
You'll be the uncle, I'll be the nephew.
I'm going to have to get some kind of security team.
All right, it's Car 959. We're on the street, we're on the air. We are with DJ Spinna.
Yeah.
Indeed it is. All right. As we having this chat, and I see that Twitter's going ablaze, Mpho Ncube says, the Marvin Gaye birthday tribute mix by DJ Spinna remains goated to date.
Wow. People are really paying attention.
You see?
I'm impressed.
That's what music will do, man. It will give you a bigger family. Hey?
Yeah.
How do you prepare? Do you know what song to pick? You have your own. You have your favorites from others. What do you put in that bag?
Well, the first thing is to know your crowd. Know what, because, I play all kinds of music.
That's right.
Not just a house head, not just a hip hop head, but it's really about knowing the energy that you're about to walk into.
Yes.
What kind of party.
The culture of the place.
Yes, that. The people, everything, and you prepare your set based on that. Overall, is telling the story. So packing records that work for the beginning of the night, the middle of the night, your peak moments, and your ending moments, and then specifically the genres. So if I'm doing a house set, like even coming here knowing that I'm walking into a soulful situation,
that's right.
There's certain kinds of house records that off the top probably can't play because it's not going to work. I'm not trying to clear any dance floors anywhere, anytime.
You're trying to pack the dance floor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep it
filled up.
Either people going crazy or keep it leveled, but overall rocking.
Yeah,
from beginning to end. So I think it's important because a lot of DJs lose focus with that. They're on autopilot. They have their set lists. They don't deviate from that, and they don't pay attention to the room. They don't read the room.
Yeah,
you know, it's important to read the energy and stay in tune.
You need to do a master class on that, bro.
Yeah, you know what? I think the part of the problem is technology has made it easy for people to become or call themselves DJs, but they don't do the groundwork. They don't study enough. They don't study the OGs enough. They don't study the people that have been doing it well.
Yeah.
And they just put the label on themselves and they go out there and get the gigs, but they're on autopilot. A lot of DJs are on autopilot, and they're not creating special situations, creating moments.
Is it about beat mixing?
No, it's not always about beat mixing. So,
Thank you.
I value DJs that know how to tell a story with their music. They take you on a journey, and they're playing the right selections.
Yes.
They're not trying to, if you don't know how to beat mix, my thing is don't try too hard.
That's right.
Just keep it real simple.
Yeah.
Go from one song to the next.
That's right.
Transition quickly and get out of there.
Yes.
Don't try, because I've seen it also where trying too hard and there's a bumpy road for like 30 seconds, a minute, and even 15 seconds with a bumpy train wrecking transition can just cause a dance floor too much confusion. You're like, what's going on here? But of course, if you can beat mix and it's seamless and it's clean, that's a plus. I value that.
That's right.
I value mixing because that's where I come from.
That's right.
I value the skill set.
Yeah.
As well, but
it doesn't mean you have to.
No, not necessarily. No, because I've been to great events.
Yes.
I don't want to call out names specifically of DJs that don't beat mix, but there are some that are put in that legendary status because of the journey and the selection is top choice.
Exactly.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's value in that.
Because they know how to read the room. They know how to curate the energy in that room.
Correct.
They know when to take it up, when to take it down, and where to leave it for the next DJ.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I feel sometimes you can kill a great party, right, by trying to kill it too early. Why? Because it's you now.
Right. So the other issue that exists in DJ culture is opening DJs not knowing how to be opening DJs. They come in and they're out trying to prove their points. Some of them have egos. I'm better than the headliner.
I want to show Spinna.
I'm gonna kill the headliner.
I want to show Spinna.
Yeah, and they come in and they play all the hot records early. They don't build and it becomes too, about you. Really, and it's really always about the music and the party.
That's right.
And you could, like you said, you can really just ruin the vibe because if the party starts at 9 or 10 o'clock and it's going till 4 or 5, why do you want to walk in and already be peak
at 10?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. You want to,
you and I can talk forever.
Yeah, you want to build it.
Before you go, are you gonna give us a mix?
Yes. So I'll be back later.
You'll be back later?
I'm going to go live, yeah.
You're going to go live?
I'm going to go live.
Let me tell you, behind the scenes, he says to me, he's like, well, I can do a mix. I'm like, what? He says, yeah. I'm like, okay. There's a show that does a mix. That is Drive 959 with Glenn, Skumba, and Khomotso, so you'll be live.
I'll be live.
This afternoon.
Yes.
Just after 5.
Yes.
Don't miss it. Spinna will be live with Drive 959. Oh my goodness. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That is an appointment. You always give us more, man. We appreciate you.
I love the music and I love the people. That's what matters to me the most.
You have 3 choices.
Uh-oh.
Larry Head, Kool and the Gang, Liz Fields. They're all your songs. Choose one, bro.
Larry Heard,
Kool and the Gang, Liz Fields.
That is hard.
I know.
Okay, so let me narrow it down between Kool and the Gang and Larry Heard.
Yeah.
What Kool and the Gang did I pick?
Summer Madness. Larry Heard, What About This Love?
You know what? Since I'm here in South Africa, and I know how important Larry is to the culture, let's go with Larry.
Here's Larry.